The situation in Bangladesh has sparked a growing international outcry as attacks on the Hindu minority escalate. Since the fall of the Awami League government in August, Hindu homes, temples and businesses have been targets of violence across the country. Prominent figures like British MP Bob Blackman and American singer and activist Mary Millben have condemned the attacks, urging the Bangladeshi government to take action to protect religious minorities. International pressure is mounting with calls for sanctions against the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus. Take a look.
Bangladesh's Hindu minority, which makes up only about 8% of the nation's 170 million people, has endured a surge of attacks since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's Awami League government on August 5th. The violence has affected more than 50 districts across the country, with reports of arson, vandalism and physical assaults targeting Hindu homes, temples and businesses. Recently, tensions intensified after the arrest of Chinmoy Krishnadas, a prominent Hindu spiritual leader, in a sedition case. His denial of bail by a court sparked protests from the Hindu community in Dhaka, Chattogram and several other regions, demanding justice and an end to the attacks. Das, a leader with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is accused of engaging in activities deemed against the state, fueling even greater unrest. In response to the escalating violence, international leaders have raised their voices in solidarity with the Bangladesh's Hindu community. British Conservative MP Bob Blackman recently addressed the issue in the UK Parliament, calling the ongoing attacks unacceptable.
The International Society of Krishna Consciousness, who run Bhaktivinoda Manor in Elstree, the largest Hindu temple in this country, in Bangladesh, their spiritual leader is under arrest. Hindus across Bangladesh are being subject literally to death by their houses being burnt, their temples are being burnt, and there was an attempt today in the Bangladesh High Court to rule that ISKCON should be banned from the country. This is a direct attack on Hindus. Now, this is a threat from India now to take action. We have a responsibility because we enable Bangladesh to be free and independent. Now, whatever the change of government has been in Bangladesh, it cannot be acceptable that religious minorities are persecuted in this way.
Blackman's remarks have highlighted the growing international concern over the safety of Hindus in Bangladesh. American singer and activist Mary Millben has also joined the global outcry, condemning the arrest of Chinmoy Krishnadas and the violence faced by Hindus in Bangladesh. In the United States, Hindu-American groups have written letters to both President-elect Donald Trump and incumbent President Joe Biden, urging action to protect the Hindu community in Bangladesh. The letters demand sanctions against the interim government led by Muhammad Yunus, who assumed leadership after the fall of the Awami League government. Meanwhile, Johnny Moore, the former commissioner of the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom, has also slammed Bangladeshi interim government led by Muhammad Yunus over the atrocities faced by religious minorities under his regime.
We're not sure who's really doing this, but let me just say the way I see it. Muhammad Yunus is failing. Okay, that's what's happening in Bangladesh now. As the leader of the country, as the interim leader of the country, there are no aspirations for the Bangladeshi people if you can't manage a very, very simple component of civil society, which is you have to protect people. People have to be safe. And you certainly cannot have a vibrant democratic country if the opposition, if they're religious, can face this level of persecution. If the rule of law becomes so inefficient that instead of getting due process, a lawyer is killed. You know, I mean, this is unbelievable. And I have to tell you, I was astonished by the response of Mr. Yunus and the Bangladeshi government. They are saying this is exaggerated. They're saying that this isn't as big a deal as it seems. Well, I can tell you, If you're a religious minority in the country and you're wondering whether you're going to live tomorrow, it's a very, very big deal. And it is the first responsibility of any government to protect these people. Muhammad Yunus is failing. That's what's happening. And he better fix it right away.
As the situation in Bangladesh continues to deteriorate, international pressure is mounting on the interim government to take decisive action to stop the violence and protect its religious minorities. For the Hindus of Bangladesh, the fight for justice and security is just beginning, and the world is watching closely.